There may be a new League of Legends inspired game coming out here very soon after what's been quite a long break through 2022. Let's see what could be coming in 2023. That is right. There are rumors and leaks coming out about a new Riot Forge game, and I want to quickly go over what Riot Forge is and what they've made so far. So, Riot Forge is an independent gaming company, technically, from Riot, where they're making games with other publishers, about League of Legends or other Riot, franchises. I guess they could do a Valorant game at some point, but generally speaking, it's based around the universe of League of Legends. And they have done a couple games so far, with some other ones that we know are in the works but haven't been released yet. The first one being the Rune King, which was based around Viego. They made a big deal about this 2 years ago. I think it was in 2021, where everything was focused around Viego and him being one of the big bads to come into the League of Legends universe. And they did an RPG game with Airship Games that was really good, actually. If you haven't played it and you're a League of Legends fan, I would highly suggest that you check it out. The story's in depth, the combat's really good, and it feels like you're almost kind of playing like a comic book, which I personally very much enjoyed. And I think that, even though they basically just shadow dropped it one day, we didn't have a release date for so long, and then they were like, hey, we're just going to release it now. I played through most of the game, and it was very complete. I can't believe they didn't try to push for it more, but I guess there was probably some miscommunication or something that led to this being the case. But then they also released Hextech Mayhem, which was kind of like an, on the beat kind of game where, you're playing as Ziggs, and he's doing different bombs, and you're trying to keep up with the songs and get the highest score that you can. It was a fun little game that they came out with, some little $5 game, and I think it really allowed for, a champion like Ziggs to show his personality. And yeah, there were a lot of people who liked it. It wasn't a bad game, but it wasn't like some mind-blowing game that had never been made before, right? The other two games that we know for sure that have been revealed but not yet released are Convergence, which is with Echo. It looks like it's going to be a side-scrolling game, akin to what we used to play, Metroid Prime, all that kind of stuff, like a level based game where Echo is helping to fight down in Zon, and you can use his ability to reset time and I guess try to save people. We don't really know much more about the premise because while the game hasn't been canceled, even though it was, along with the Rune King, one of the first games shown from Riot Forged, nothing has really come of it yet. So I know a lot of people are excited for when it does come out. It looks like it'll be a good game, but we're still kind of in the I don't know when it's coming out phase. The other one that was most recently revealed was The Song of Nunu, which looks like it's going to be kind of like a third-person action-adventure type game where you're on rails and you're going through, the snows of Freljord and trying to find Nunu's family, I think, or Willump, one of the two of them. I can't really remember, but you'll see, champions looks like Sejuani, Lissandra are going to be in this as he's trying to make his way, across the frozen lands. And I think this game also looks really good, but many thought it was coming out last year. It didn't. There was a chance it was going to come out early this year. So far, obviously, it has not yet, but we will have to see because these are good games that are in production. But I guess I was going to talk about this too. Rune King is the best game out there of all four of them so far, at least. This game is really good. Please go give it a look. Now, on to the leak and to the rumor here. According to this person, this 070 or Sebno, this was put on Reddit, on the Games and Leaks Reddit, where according to some South Korean gaming committee, which would mean that this game is fairly close to being released apparently, Riot Games' new action game for PC, the Mageseeker, a League of Legends story, has been leaked by South Korea's Game Ratings Committee. Players play Sylas to save Demacia. Now, for those of you who may not know, Sylas is a very interesting character. Demacia is a place that looks pristine. Everything looks great. Everybody's so happy. Everything's marble, right? The problem is that they are extremely, xenophobic, maybe racist, one of the two, against people who have magical abilities. And they lock them up. They kill them. They do not like magic in Demacia for whatever reason. And Sylas is the person who is leading a rebellion against Demacia to give people like himself who can use magic the ability to live their lives, to not be in fear of, Jarvan the Fourth and all of his lackeys. Um, Even though they seem like they're the good guys, in this situation, they're the bad guys. So it is really interesting because along with this, Garen, one of the guards, has, I believe it's his sister, is Lux, who's a very prominent character in League of Legends. People love her. She's got like some of the most skins in the game. But the story goes, at least so far, and we'll see if it can either continues in here or gives us at least a brief look at it, to where she is a prominent figure. She's either the sister of Garen or of Jarvan the Fourth, the king. And she does have magical abilities. And in the last cinematic that we saw, she was actually helping Demacia fight against Sylas. But then in a comic, I believe it was, we find out that her and Sylas kind of have a thing together, and he's trying to, show her, hey, you can use your magical abilities. And so I don't have it right completely, I know that, but the idea that we're finally going to get a potential protagonist, like, or maybe even technically an antagonist, just depending, anti-hero maybe might be the better way to describe Sylas, like him, is going to be very, very interesting. And seeing how he's going to fight against Demacia, like an action game where you're playing as a guy who's freaking whipping around chains and can steal other people's abilities and use them for himself. Sounds like it's going to be an absolute blast. And diving deeper into Demacia also feels like it's going to be a very interesting thing. Now, the one caveat I'm going to say here is we don't know that this is real, right? This could very easily be faked. It may also just be that Riot Games is just, kind of putting it out there. And, Riot has not really shown anything from Riot Forge. We are, as I'm recording this, almost 2 weeks into the new year, and we haven't seen really anything from Riot Forge in nearly a year. We basically got no new content from Riot Forge other than some very brief announcements. And Riot Games is really expanding, right? They are really trying to get new games out there. They've got a new fighting game coming out. I'm sure they've got a few other games in the works, like a new action RPG, I believe, that is potentially in the works. And there was a leak even months ago that they had something that was potentially going to come out at the end of the year. It doesn't look like it now. Well, obviously we went through the end of the year, but it doesn't even look like this video may have been real. But apparently they have 10 games that they are currently working on. And the last time we got an update like that was back in, I think it was 2019, where we were able to see, Valorant for the first time. We got confirmation that TFT was going to be sticking around as more than just a quick game mode, right? Legends of Runeterra, even the Rune King back at that point. So they made a very big deal about this, and it's going to be interesting to see whether or not they're going to decide to pay some more credence to this, to Riot Forge, and start, bringing out a lot more games surrounding some of their best characters, or maybe they're even going to kind of push, pump the brakes on this, because there is a Riot Games MMO that is a League of Legends, I should say, MMO that is in the works. And while I'm sure we're not anywhere near it being ready, it has technically been announced. It is being worked on by people at Riot Games. They are hiring jobs for it. So I don't know if they're just kind of waiting for all their story stuff to go through that, or maybe they're going to use all of these games as stories to, let you know where the characters are, so that when the MMO starts, you'll have an idea, and their cinematic universe, with Arcane and stuff like that will be coming together. I really don't know, but I am very excited about the opportunity, because the Mageseeker, a League of Legends story, definitely, like 100%, at least to me, sounds like something that they would do. And it seems like potentially a really good opportunity for an action game, because again, Sylas is a very interesting character, and all the people that he's going to have to fight and interact with would be crazy. Like, I actually, what would be interesting is maybe like even a Hades style action, game where Sylas is having to fight his way through to the top of Demacia. I could totally see something like that. That would be crazy. A League of Legends roguelike game featuring Sylas. because he can get all the different abilities similar to, again, what Hades has done. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think it's real? Do you think it's fake? And let me know if you think it is real. Would you want to play it? Because I certainly know that I would, but I might just be a League of Legends nerd. Who knows? I mean, I'm wearing a Draven shirt right now. So, yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. And, yeah, I'll catch you all on the next one.